Hello everyone and welcome back. Hopefully you're all refreshed, went to the toilet and ready for our last session with our fantastic leaders. So I am going to let them introduce themselves. So Edwina, would you like to go first and introduce yourself? Where you come from and what you do in hockey?
Hello, I'm Luandile. I'm from South Africa. I'm the Vice President of South African Hockey, and I'm also the Vice President of the South African Olympic.
I think we're having some connection problems. So maybe Oriol, if you want to hop in first, and then when it's fixed.
Sure, no problem. I'm Oriol Peramiquel. I'm from Barcelona, actually from Terrassa. As you may know, a quite important city in Spain, and where it's all about hockey. I started playing hockey when I was 10, and I recently retired. Yeah, I'm currently working for Score. I'm actually one of the co-founders of Scored, one of the, actually right now the biggest hockey network worldwide. And I'm super pleased to be here and ready to kick some and talk about my experience as a hockey player, my road as a, let's call it entrepreneur, if it can be said like this, and my experience playing abroad as well.
Okay, perfect. Luandile, if you want to try and repeat it.
Hello, can you hear me? Perfect. I'm Luandile. I'm from Johannesburg in South Africa. I'm part of the Vice President of South African Hockey. And I'm also the Vice President of the Olympic.
I don't know if it was just me, but I think that we had some problems again. Could be.
We didn't hear the last part you said, Luandile. I don't know if you want to repeat it.
Thanks. I said I'm the Vice President of South African Hockey and also the Vice President of the Olympic Committee.
Okay, perfect. Welcome to the both of you. We're going to jump right in with the question is, why did you create, or why are you involved in the organization you're working at the moment? If you want to start, Oriol.
Yeah, I can jump in, definitely. Long story short, I will try to make a briefing explanation of what happens. But as I said, I've been playing hockey as far as I remember. And basically, I was in the university, I was playing for the national team for Spain, and I was playing as well for Athletic Terrassa at the highest level possible in Spain. But I was combining that with studying. At that moment, I was studying law. But I basically saw that was not my path. That I somehow screwed up by choosing that field of expertise. So at a certain moment, I also said that I wanted to just break with my professional career, try to do a break on that, and play abroad. And that's when I decided, I think it was back in 2013, to try to look for a team that would like to have me playing for them and helping me as well, because that was my goal at that moment, to change my professional career path. So I started looking for it, and luckily, I was good enough for some teams willing to sign me and willing to have me. And basically one of the things that I asked them was to give me the possibility to find me a job that was, basically out of the law. So marketing, whatever. And that's when I come in contact with Dragons. I play it there and work for a company over there in marketing and in digital marketing for 2 years, wonderful years with Dragons, when I won EHL medal and the Belgium competition, playing alongside players like Arthur van Doren, like Felix Denayer, Florian Van Abel. So it was an amazing experience. And then after those 2 years, I decided to move to Antwerp for a couple of extra years. And there, on my second year in Antwerp, is when I got in contact with a guy called Shay Neal from New Zealand, where we shared our experience, and we, along coffees, we were both coffee lovers, and we shared the experience of playing abroad. What was that about? How he found his path towards Antwerp, how I found my path, and actually how difficult it was for other people that were like, I really don't like to say it like this, but just to understand each other good enough to be known for the big clubs. So we start talking coffee after coffee about that experience, about that flow to get in contact with clubs, about how to be recognized, how to be acknowledged. And we came towards the idea that 1 year after, or even more than a year after, would become Score. And the main idea was to help people to move around thanks to hockey, and to, let's call, discover the undiscovered players. Everybody should have the opportunity that in that moment, Shay and myself and plenty of other people had to play abroad and discover such an amazing experience. And we try to create such platform to help all those players and also the clubs to find the perfect fit. And that's how somehow the story of Score was starting to get built. After that, I found a great entrepreneur in Belgium called Sebastian Comijn, one of the co-founders of Escort, that, he was really in the startup world. So he helped me a lot and became my co-founder to build that idea and to build a company from an idea. That's, I think, the most complicated part, and the part that don't tell you at school on that you have to commit big time. And this is how everything started. It was quite harsh on the beginning. Now, if I'm looking back on those timings when the idea was built, I was combining that last year that I played for Antwerp. I was combining working on my actual job, training and playing for Antwerp first team, coaching the under-19s, and during the nights, going to Brussels. That it's, let's say, a half an hour, 45 minutes by car from Antwerp, to work with Sebastian, my co-founder, to build the idea of Score. So that was a really harsh time, but a really, really exciting time. When you have something that it's just, let's say, an idea, that it's not tangible, and you start getting excited about how you're going to do it, how you're going to find the money to build it, how you're going to talk with clubs, how you're going to pitch it, how you're going to, and at the end, help people. I remember it like really, really, a really stressed and tiring period of my life. But I also remember it as an amazing period of my life too. That's pretty much, in short words, how the story of Scort. Now Scort is more than just that help and that vacancy part, but it's how we started, and we are really proud about it.
I think I speak for most of the hockey community. Thank you so much for doing that and going through that stressful period, because you've allowed so many people now to connect and fulfill their dreams, which they may have not previously been able to do. So we're going to jump into an audience question now.
Sure.
So the audience question we're going to give them is, can you think of other ways you would like to connect? So Squad is a great platform. Put your entrepreneurial mind on. So we'll go back into the lounge. We will jump in on tables too, but have a discussion as to other ways we could connect.
Okay, perfect. We hope you all had a quick discussion about the suggestions. If you do have some suggestions, please put them in the chat box. Don't be shy. Raise your hand. Maybe you can come up stage and we can have a talk about it. In the meantime, we'd like to hear from Rondile why you got involved in the position you're in now.
Hi, everyone. I hope my connection is far better now. I got involved because I represented South Africa at the World Youth Hockey Promoter Festival all the way back in about 2000s, early 2000s, when I was still about 18 years old. And some of the things that we learned there was how to be involved in hockey on a very different level. That, you know, it's not all just about playing. You can coach, you can umpire, and you can also be part of the leadership structures. So that is the direction that I took when I stopped playing. I still play very socially, but when I stopped playing competitively, then I decided that this is perhaps my avenue. I didn't think I'd make a great umpire, so I didn't choose that or a coach. So I thought I would use my skills where they're better suited to stay connected to the game I love.
Okay, great. Was it an easy ride for you to go in that position, or did you bump into any blockings or setter times?
You know, I think it was a bit of a mixed ride, especially when you come in as young as I was when I started, and as young as I hope I still am. You know, it is a bit of a challenge to come into as a youngster, but I think it was a bit of a mixed thing. It was hard as well because of a number of things that you had to get used to.
Fantastic. And it's all sort of about adapting and learning, and as you said, using your skills. I believing in yourself. How much would you say that where you've got to has come from you believing in yourself and sort of self-motivation and drive? Rio, if you want to maybe kick us off with that, with Scored, how do you keep yourself motivated to keep improving and going?
Yeah, I think first of all, at the end, you're running a company, so this is a pretty strong and good motivation. You have people now. We're proud to say that we are already some people working within Scored, so that's actually amazing. And we can founded the company out of a passion and a goal, so that's already something that brings you forward every day. But at the end, basically, this is a company that's based on the sport we love and the sport that makes me the person that I am today, and that brought me most of my best friends, most of my best experience in life, even my girlfriend. It's actually from the hockey world. So at the end, this is, like I said, a company that it's based on the on the sport that I love. So actually, my motivation is try to help the hockey world, the hockey people, the sport to get better, to get more recognized, to be able to move forward, to evolve, and to be a sport that it's up to and is responding to the needs of the people who are practicing it. That's what we try to do on Score. That's what we try to do in all the projects that, as a Score and as myself, I'm involved in. Yeah, that's my biggest motivation at the moment.
Okay, great. As we were talking, you were both young getting involved in hockey. What kind of advice would you guys give to your 18-year-old self? Anything? Rondile, maybe you want to start with this.
I think I'd tell my 18-year-old self to keep at it, and to be true to myself, and to push as hard as I possibly can to achieve what I think I want to achieve, and to have fun, enjoy it. If you're not enjoying it, then it's not really worth it.
I'm quite. I think I'm going to give an answer quite similar to yours, but actually I have kind of two. So for my 18-year-old hockey player, I would say it's like realize that hockey, at least on the level that I was playing, ends at a certain moment. That at that age you don't realize. You think you're living the moment. And you don't realize at a certain moment that's going to have an end. You can keep playing hockey, and you can keep playing hockey with your friends or more recreational, but if you play competitive hockey, it's going to end. So really use every training, use every game, enjoy it to the fullest, because at some moment you're not going to play anymore, or you're going to play in a completely different level, and definitely you're going to miss that. And to my younger self, like a bit more, if I'm talking more about the part of professional career, it's exactly what she said. It's go for it. Don't be afraid. Make mistakes. That's something that it's a topic, I think, but it's definitely something that I would recommend myself. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Just move forward. Go with passion. Think about what you want to do. But don't be afraid at all to make mistakes, because everybody does. And it's how you learn the most. It's the same with hockey. So you need to lose a lot of games to really value afterwards the wins. So it's exactly the same with life. Just don't be afraid to make mistakes or to screw up at a certain moment. You're always going to find a solution, and it's never going to be the end of the world. Don't dramatize it. Just move forward. Oh, sorry, I want to put.
That's fantastic. No, that was brilliant. Thank you, both of you. Just like that resilience and to carry on. And obviously that's what's made you both so successful. So we've got a question in the chat. Regarding Scored, I understand that you usually help players through their playing careers. Do you go out to look for the players, or do they approach you instead? Now, I'm going to just put a twist on that. How did that start? So when you first created Scored, and has that now changed now that it's obviously been established for a while longer?
Yeah. So the approach towards helping people to play abroad, or the other way around, helping clubs to find what they're looking for, it actually haven't changed much. We always try to improve the flow of communication between both parties, but basically we let our aim was to create an environment where everybody could be found and showcased. So we actually don't approach players. If we approach somebody, our clubs, in order to have them on the platform as many as possible and as active as possible. But players, coaches, we don't go and approach them. We just try to make sure that they understand how the platform works, how they can showcase themselves the best way possible, how the profiles can be as complete and as attractive as possible as well, in order that they don't diminish themselves because of being too, I don't know how to express it, but just downsizing themselves. And that's not something that we found sometimes, that, okay, I'm a bit shy to showcase that goal or that skill, or maybe that's not the biggest achievement to put it on my achievement path or whatever, or I'm not as that skill, maybe that's not that relevant. So that's what we are trying to help them with, and at the end, just pushing them or motivating them always to don't be afraid of contacting a certain club, and being ready to be. We are in a real world, to be ready to be rejected as well. So that's also something that you need to realize. We get a lot of questions sometimes. I got rejected from a certain amount of clubs. We can't do something about it. We are extremely sorry when we hear those stories. But at the end, we are not the decision makers. The clubs are the ones. And yeah, luckily we have a lot of people on the platform, so they have a lot to choose, a big basket to choose from. So yeah, don't be afraid. At the end, the experience, as we said, it's definitely worth it, and it's something that I would definitely recommend to everybody to if they have the opportunity and if they are willing to go for it, just go, because it's a life-changing experience.
Perfect. So I have another question. Cornelia, would you say you always wanted to be where you are now, or do you just took every step with every opportunity that was there?
Yeah, I think once I realized that I'm not going to, to play competitively anymore, then I did definitely want to always do the best that I can. I'm always happy to serve wherever I'm needed to serve. And yeah, opportunities did come. I did take them on, with both hands, and I did do my best in everything. I mean, I represent the Olympic Committee now as well. So I think I did definitely take every opportunity, and I'm happy to.
I think we're having some trouble with connection. We're going to jump right in with the next. Sorry. Yeah, we're going to jump right in with the next audience question, and then we come back and talk about it after it. Is there any way these leaders, these entrepreneurs, can support your development? Have a think about it, have a chat about it, and then come back with some answers. And don't be shy to share them.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. Hope you've had some good conversations in your tables. Please use the chat function or raise your hand to ask any questions of our two fantastic speakers. They are here to help you with your journey, here to give you advice. So please pick their brains. They will be more than happy to do that. But because we don't have anything at the moment in the chat, I'm going to ask another question. What are your dreams, guys? Obviously, you've still got amazing careers ahead of you. What are your dreams? What are your next steps? Vandili, do you want to kick us off?
Wow, I think I definitely want to do a lot more work in the continent. Of Africa.
I think we've just lost Vandili's connection again, but she was just saying how she'd like to do some more work in the continent before she cut out. What's gonna happen with Scored then? Let's get excited about that.
Yeah, we're trying, as I said before, to keep evolving the idea of a worldwide hockey community and how that can impact the sport that we all love. So We launched during the pandemic year was Score TV, the concept of a Score TV, where we allowed every club or every organization in the world to just push their video content, their live streams, their interviews, their highlights, in order that somehow every hockey fan, every hockey lover can have access to hockey content every day of the week, to help clubs as well to showcase themselves and to just get a broader audience. We are working towards building smaller communities as well to help people. We are about to launch a concept to help people to go to practice hockey in the States, thanks to how to say this? To play in the universities and for universities and to get a degree there, because we have seen that the market to go to play in those universities, you have to pay quite a lot of money. It's quite a struggling process. So we are twisting a bit that idea, and together with a couple of other entrepreneurs, we are building a concept around that. We have done fantasies. We want to go more into gaming elements for hockey. We recently launched a concept, a score predictor, so you can guess the scores of the best competitions in Europe. Right now we have Belgium, England, and the Netherlands, but we are going for more. We want basically to keep finding ways for all hockey people, for all hockey lovers, for the different stakeholders in the hockey world, to make the hockey more and more alive, and to make hockey closer to people, to help them, and especially help hockey. We need to grow and grow and grow in order to make it and to sustain hockey in all ways possible. That's what my dreams and related to Score are about.
Okay, perfect. Good dreams, big dreams, but I think you'll manage how to deal with it. You've had Scored for a couple of years now, I think. Do you think it was the right time to start Scored when you did it, or do you think it should have done way before, or maybe now?
I think it could have done before. There were similar ideas in the market, but more niche and more focused on other ways. Some just to play in the States, some just more like job hockey related things. But the way we wanted to push forward was a bit disrupting, I think. If I have to, the only thing that maybe we should have done earlier, and we are in the path to do it, is launching an app. I think that could have been a better way to enter the market, even though we had a great success when we entered. But definitely it's something that you're going to hear soon news about that part. But yeah, I think that was quite a good timing. Maybe earlier, a couple of years earlier would have been even bigger. But I think that still no many options in the market to do so, and still a lot of people trusting the process. But yeah, I think it was basically the right timing for me. I don't know if the market was the right timing for the market or not, but it was definitely everything flows supernatural, at least on my end. I never planned to be where I am today, to be running this company. Never would have guessed 5-6 years ago that I would be doing this, and it just basically flow as a natural thing. It came out of like I said, out of a coffee share with a great person. Just keep sharing coffees and discussing about hockey, and one day realizing that we were like somehow having some privileges that some other people didn't have, and that's how it flowed.
Okay, great. If there are no other questions from the audience, I'd like to give the mic to Mike Joyce, who's from the FIH Academy. Would like to say a few words.
Hi guys, thank you so much. I just wanted to say a few words about today, but then just sort of a few thoughts overall as to why we're doing this. Yeah, I suppose I should introduce myself to start with. So together with Andre Oliveira, I'm responsible for education development at the FIH. We were tasked by our development education committee to bring together a series of events for hockey around the Year of the Youth, of which the Huddle is one, our first sort of online activity. I think it was mentioned earlier that it's 20 years since the Year of the Youth, which for many of you is before you were born. I remember it as a young person at the time, or maybe not that young, but still quite young. And it was massively successful in engaging a young generation. And the idea behind this Year of the Youth is to do the same again, because obviously the next generation tends to get left out because we forget to engage with them. We concentrate on our own age group, and that just gets older and older. So fantastic to do this. I guess I wanted to just start by thanking Helen and Cedric from the EHF Youth Leadership Panel for presenting so brilliantly and for interviewing our guests, and then also the other members of the panel for helping out and for their contribution. Also to Ernst Bart and the hockey site for pulling this all together and sort of orchestrating the Huddle, and then also providing this platform on AirMeet, which is brilliant. I think we can use it more and more in future, but it's been great to use it today. And also to our guests, of course. We've had 8 fantastic guests so far this morning, and then we've got another 8 later on today. Really brilliant to listen to their stories and to understand where they've come from and the different directions and paths that they've made. I think these are sort of 8 brilliant people that we have another 80,000, 800,000 brilliant people out there in the hockey world who are making contributions in their own way. So thank you for, and Ariel's on the screen, but thank you for you and all the others for coming on today and for sharing those stories and sort of being at the forefront of that group of entrepreneurs. And then finally, thank you to everyone who's joined us today for your great questions and contribution. It's for you. I think of the 120 odd people who've registered to join, over half are what we would class as young people. So dare I say it, under 21. That means I'm way off being a young person now, but I think we all think we're still young. But it's fantastic to have you here, and it's really for you. I guess, yeah, finally, thank you to everyone, but don't forget we've got another session with 8 more brilliant guests at 6 o'clock Central European time today. So I guess I'll hand back to Cedric and Helen to just wrap up, but thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, everybody who joined today. Maybe we will join in the evening as well. And I'd like to say thank you to Ariel and thank you to Luande as well. That's it. And then we're going to wrap up this session.
So yeah, we've come to the end.